This is video 28. The title is False Alarms. The first false alarm happened when I was going to mechanics school, getting ready to go to Vietnam. False alarms. When I was going to AIT at Fort Belvoir during the month of February, there was a fire alarm in the middle of the night. The whole company was standing outside in their underwear and wrapped in a blanket. I looked around and saw my friend Dane and one of his buddies. They were in a different company across the creek from us. He was from Berwick and we had attended basic at Fort Dix and now AIT at Belvoir. We used to volunteer for night duty on Friday every week. That duty was cleaning OCS classrooms. The duty sergeant got to know us and assigned us the same classrooms every week. We would finish our work and then go around to the bus stops and pick up a few guys going to the airport. We'd charge them a few bucks each, and that gave us enough money for gas to get home for the weekend. After dropping the guys at Dulles, we headed for Pennsylvania. On 4 occasions, without the trip to the airport, it was 256 miles from the back gate of Belvoir to Dane's place outside of Berwick. We made the trip in 2 hours and 15 minutes. The Roadrunner was a great ride. Friday was the night after the false alarm. On the way home, I told him, "I know you and Steve pulled that alarm." He just laughed. I was right. Next was when I was an MP. One night when I was on patrol, there was a fire alarm at my old barracks. It was in my area, so I responded to direct traffic. Turns out it was a false alarm. The fire equipment had not made it back to the station, and the alarm came back again. I turned around and responded again. Another false alarm. The chief was not happy. I told the chief that I had spent almost a year in that building and would hang around a bit to see what was going on. I told him if another alarm went off, not to respond unless I directly called for a response. He agreed. Sure enough, about 10 minutes later, the alarm went off. There was no one on the first floor, which consisted of offices. I was standing in the stairwell observing occupants on the second floor when the alarm went off. I saw no one on the second floor doing anything. I hopped up the stairs to the third floor, and lo and behold, there was some idiot with a rag standing on his top bunk, shining the brass heat sensor in the ceiling. The place got real quiet when I walked through the double doors. I had a talk with this young man and asked if he wanted to go to jail. I asked him why he was polishing the brass knob in the ceiling. They were tarnished. I chewed his butt about putting people in danger by causing emergency vehicles to respond to false alarms. The chief was satisfied with that. No more false alarms. And that, friends, is the end of the false alarms. All the best.